Good morning, it's Tuesday, January 8th. It's finally Tuesday again! Yay! Today I want to talk about basic economics, supply and demand, and how that applies to musicians. Basically, it owns us. First, let's take a look at the supply side. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, there's almost an endless supply of musicians. Everyone is a musician. Sure, you might not be the Rolling Stones, but there are plenty of other ways to make music. You can start a local band, you can play an instrument in school, you can noodle around on the guitar in college to impress the ladies, or you can just sing in the car or in the shower.
Oh, I'm bleeding heart and soul.
Okay, so I might not be competing with everyone who sings in the shower, but there is no shortage of people willing or even yearning to perform in public. Performing in public confers a number of benefits onto the performer, some of them tangible, like free food or drink or money, or others intangible, like a sense of accomplishment or creative fulfillment. Not only that, but performers are often lavished with attention and praise from their peers, and as such it's understandable that so many people want to perform music in public. Okay, let's talk about the demand side. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the music scene in this town is dead or that nobody appreciates live music anymore. I don't think that's necessarily true, and I think it's a cheap excuse musicians use to have a bad attitude or to not try very hard. I do think, however, that there's not a very big demand for specific music or specific musicians. Take Business Time, for example. When you read in the paper that Business Time is going to be at Joe's Bar and Grill on Friday night, you might see John, Nate, Tyrus, and Brandon. But the list of people who have shown up at an establishment to play as Business Time includes not only John, Nate, Tyrus, and Brandon, but also Roger, Steve, Jason, Joe, Kendra, and probably several others. As long as 3 to 5 people showed up and played popular songs adequately, no bar ever really complained, at least to my knowledge. Now similarly, I just signed on to play a musical in March. And while the school did hire me and not anyone else, they don't need me specifically to have a successful musical. All they need is someone who can follow the instructions in this book. If for some reason I become unable to play the musical, I can think of 5 or 6 other people off the top of my head who could follow the instructions in this book and allow the show to go on. I'm not that much in demand as a specific individual. Okay, so why am I talking about supply and demand at all right now? Because we just celebrated the one day of year where this equation turns itself on its head, New Year's Eve. On New Year's Eve, every bar, restaurant, and hotel in America, virtually, hires a band. And not only that, but a lot of musicians take the night off to party themselves. That means that if you can forego a night of debauchery, or at least restrain yourself enough that you're still able to perform, you can get a really sweet gig. It's the one night a year where I feel like the public really appreciates musicians. With a tiny asterisk to account for the fact that most people are too drunk that night to truly appreciate anything, but hey, I'll take what I can get. And now on to this week's Things of Note, now with 100% more end screen. While I tell you about my gigs this week, feel free to check out a link to last week's video, which was a song about my 2013 resolutions. It was a song! Anyway, on Thursday we have the Jazz at the Library series again. I'm not performing, but you can come out and watch me manipulate PA equipment. It's from 7 to 8:15 at the Downtown Public Library in Lexington, Kentucky. On Saturday, I'll be performing at The Secret with Business Time. It's from 9 to 1 and it's free. Okay, that's all for this week. If I don't see you Thursday or Saturday, I'll see you next Tuesday. And as always, thanks for watching. End screen!